film of some kind.
A docu-film?
Yeah, if you will. And it's gotta be better than the one we made in Delhi.
Oh, it will be. Because now I've taken classes on documentary film.
Good.
So now I'm filming sideways.
You get Steven Spielberg over here. You're so good at this.
That was kind of cool. This is day one of our trek up Mount Kilimanjaro. This is us being driven to the Rongai Gate where we start the hike. We're about to do the 6-day Rongai Route, which is the only route that goes up the side of the mountain that borders Kenya, fun fact. It has a pretty high success rate, which is part of why we chose it, but it is a little bit shorter than some of them, so there's less time to acclimate to the altitude. Alright, just started the hike.
Here we go, day one, hour one.
It's just kind of a downhill situation. Pretty easy, anyone could do it. Actually, spoilers, I saw this part in a video. Oh, new zone, guys.
Oh, new zone alert.
So this is different than the last zone.
As you can tell, because of the way that it is.
You can see the way that the things are.
It's different.
I did it. I peed in a hole.
Guys, it's only downhill from here, zone-wise.
Alright. We just did it. Okay. Day one, we did it.
Oh, he's back again.
Oh, day one. Oh, okay. This sucks.
What are you doing?
It's called art. Ooh, we're in the tent. Someone's playing games on
I'm
their
playing
phone.
Geometry Dash. Get out of here, Mom.
Oh.
Cheers.
How was day one hike, girl?
So it was really great. I really enjoyed myself. We saw Kenya, and I got charged $50
That's the price to see Kenya. Worth it.
because my phone plan was only for Tanzania, and spontaneously we were in Kenya. So for that brief moment, I paid a price.
That's a little brain. That's no help to anyone.
You're under arrest.
That's no help to anyone trying to make a documentary. Oh, sorry.
What about? No, Mom, we're good.
So goofy mood. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your words, not mine.
No, they were your words. Good stuff. Good morning,
literally
everyone.
joined this tent in the middle of the night. What are you doing here?
It's day 2, and I'm in your documentary now.
We met her on the hike.
This is my trip. You guys are the intruders.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Literally Daredevil, girl. Oh my god, I didn't take my diamonds.
Just our morning acid. Hell yeah.
So actually, we just tricked you. This is not us taking acid. This is us taking our daily medication. We had to take altitude pills twice a day and malaria meds once a day, even though I don't think there were mosquitoes at this altitude anymore, but just in case. And then here's us in the dining tent. Every morning at like 6, we got woken up to tea and coffee in our tent. And then at 7, there was a nice warm cooked breakfast. So all around, very nice. And then we started the hike. Day 2 was honestly a tough day. It was the longest day other than summit night. I think total we hiked 9 hours, and I got a little sick from the altitude despite the medication. I mostly just had a headache and felt a little nauseous, so it wasn't that bad, but there isn't much footage from this day because I was not feeling amazing. We did get to see a cool cave though. And then right after this, we stopped for lunch. We also lucked out weather-wise because it didn't rain at all during the trip, which I think is pretty unusual. But this is the one day it was pretty foggy and we thought it might rain, so we stopped and put on our rain gear. And then by 4:30, we made it to camp. And here is me being dramatic in the tent because I wasn't feeling good. I think I said a few times that I actually was just gonna head back down and not do the hike. But believe it or not, I actually survived the day and felt better on day 3.
Like the baby, and they're in their like little cocoon thing, and then they get unwrapped and they go.
Yeah.
That was me all night.
Good morning.
So dark in here.
It was so beautiful out there.
Where's my telephone, huh?
Just drinking some coffee.
Someone get me my readers.
Oh my god. Here, let me give you my headband.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This is crazy.
So the other day, the guide was like, there's no mosquitoes up at this altitude, so you can stop taking your malaria meds. And I was like, well, if I was bit by a malaria mosquito at a lower altitude and stopped taking my malaria meds now, I would die of malaria still. And he was like, yeah, I keep taking them.
Yeah.
And then the Moenzi Peak where we're going today.
Oh, gee, we're going up there? Or
Well,
just
we're
like...
going to the bottom of it today, and then in the evening we're gonna try and climb up a little bit.
Oh, just for fun?
Yeah, to acclimate. Apparently, they want us to be.
They want me to
relative.
pass out.
Well, they don't want you to pass out tomorrow.
Oh, when we go up there.
When we go up there. Yeah.
That's crazy. We're kind of close. I feel like I could just run and sprint to the top. And then like do
go,
somersaults
go.
down. I'm going, guys. There's ravens
Do
everywhere.
somersaults. I kind of wish I had like a snowboard. I could just kind of like jump and like scoot my way back to the bottom.
This is by far the prettiest camp. This is so cool. And we couldn't even see it when we arrived. Waste.
That's because the other camps had those really tall trees.
That's true. Yeah, this one you just get views. But
Yeah.
I also, something about a little shrub. I love it. In the desert zone.
There is little to no vegetation. My lips are chapped. I haven't seen water in minutes.
And on top of it, she has to be snot girl.
Yeah, I'm losing 90% of my fluids through my nose.
She's dangerously low on snot.
You don't throw stones at glass houses.
Yeah, duh.
I don't know what the actual saying is.
That's like when you don't step on a puppy's head. Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Get the camera right in. You see these hands? Look how tan they are in comparison to Melita's hands.
No! Look at that pool in the distance.
That's actually a hot spring. Know your surroundings. EMT's coming in. Oh shit. We got the director telling me to make it landscape.
Today they had an optional walk to Moenzi Peak, which is a peak that's not the summit, to give yourself a higher chance of making it on the actual summit night, which was the next day. Before the hike, I chose to rent an oxygen tank because I am like not really in the shape to actually do this. So I thought I might need it. So for the optional walk, they use that as a way for me to get adjusted to using the oxygen tank. So here's me getting all suited up for a 45-minute walk. And then the next day was the big day.
Yeah, I've got so many fun facts. Did you know that even though Dodoma is not the biggest city in Tanzania, it's in fact the capital city of Tanzania? A lot of people think it's Dar es Salaam because it's the biggest city. It's also a port city, but it's not Dar es Salaam.
And I've never heard of the other one. So.
Dodoma, yeah. There's your fun fact. Thank you.
Do you have a fun fact?
There's nothing going on inside this little head.
Hakuna matata, hakuna matata, hakuna matata, jambo bwana, habari gani?
This hike looked like it would be really easy because the whole time we could see the camp, which was at the base of the summit, but just like we didn't get any closer. It felt like we were just like walking for hours, not getting anywhere. How you doing?
Summit's so close I can smell it.
That's not that bad. I could probably like just super jump up there.
What do you mean?
How you doing? What is
Walk in the sun. I'm pretty tired.
I'm so tired. I feel really tired.
I'm like sleepy tired.
Yeah, I'm every kind of tired. Once we got to camp, we had a few hours to nap and relax, wake up, have dinner, take another little nap, and then we had to get up at 11 p.m. to get ready to start hiking at midnight to get to the summit.
Avery, grab Meredith's yes, hand. I like that music. Who's got that on?
Because that's just the most beautiful color I've ever seen.
It won't even look the same, but
We've made it to first peak, guys. Woo! That was tough.
That was literally so easy.
Fuck you, Kyle. That was so hard.
I was struggling.
So today we summited.
Oh yeah.
Quick cheers for us.
Woo!
It sucked.
Somebody went blind in the process.
Wasn't us, but someone actually
Yeah.
did.
Someone actually went
on a
blind.
stretcher, and they're at this camp now. Maybe we should.
0 to 10, how did you feel about Summit?
It's so hard because there was just so many ups and downs.
I think the first part from KIBO Hut to GILMAN'S Point, that was like a good 0 out of 10 experience.
0,
That was
-5.
Horrendous
Although,
experience.
like I handled it better than I thought. Like I wasn't like
No, you're good.
absolutely dying.
You're going fast.
Like I was fine. I would just get out of breath every once in a while and then need to stop. And then I would throw tantrums in my head like oh, I have so many. Like when I had my rain pants on and a second puffer coat.
Rain pants?
Rain pants.
And then from GILMAN'S Point to UHURU Peak, that was
Easy
8 out of 10
peasy lemon
experience.
squeezy.
Okay, for
That was
me.
beautiful. I thought that was great.
So that's when I kind of just
Passed away.
Yeah, like I was doing so fine on the horrible, awful, terrible part, and then we get to the actual beautiful, easy walk, and the altitude just hit me, and there was a point I like every step I had to take a break because I was like, I just did a marathon. But it worked out because lucky for me, I spent $350 on the off chance I needed an oxygen tank.
I didn't know it was that.
Nasal
Yeah,
cannula,
it's
girl.
expensive, and I wasn't gonna use it, but part of the reason I wasn't going to use it the whole thing is because I thought it might prevent me from summiting somehow, like having this heavy thing on my back, like making this weird noise, overthinking it, getting panicky, you know.
So you used it on the way down though, right?
Yeah.
No, you did use it on the way up a little.
No,
I just put it on for
she used it for the last 90-meter ascent that she was going to give up on.
Okay. She started getting really tired when we were like 100 meters away from the signboard that said you reached the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And she's like, why don't we go back
I'm
now?
gonna
And
go
she was
back.
dead serious.
I was like, you guys can go. But to me, cost benefit analysis, that would have taken me years because every step was like a marathon. And then secondly, we were already at the top. And so to me, I was like, do I need to see that? Which I was glad I did. It's like a thing to do.
Are you kidding?
Anyways, and then that's like a really happy thing. We take some pictures. I have my oxygen tank, so I'm feeling fine. They're feeling fine, little headaches, whatever. But like fine, because we're heading back down. And then get this. The down is almost, I'm not gonna
It
say
is. It's
worse.
way worse.
I won't say it's worse.
It
because
was
the
a
uphill
million
took-
times
No,
worse.
the uphill was worse.
The uphill
definitely,
was tough.
but the downhill was no cakewalk.
Yeah, but the fact that it was after
That's the
all
thing.
of that.
The
Oh,
reason
and
it
then
felt so
after
horrible.
all of that, we slept for about 20 minutes and then walked another 8 kilometers to this very tent that we were sitting in.
Last day. The group is doing well. To close it out, on the last day, they told us it would be 6 hours. It ended up being 9, but morale still okay. And then we got lunch when we got to the bottom. And overall, I think it was a really great time, but I'm saying this weeks after the fact, so I maybe take it with a grain of salt. It might not be how I was feeling in the moment, but really fun, really cool. Shocked I did it. Everyone I know is shocked I did it. Less shocked that Kyle and Avni did it. They're actually athletic and prepared. So anyways, see you next time.